Now, we're ready to do the annotations. So in order to do the annotations, what I want to do first is I want to clean up these construction lines. If I want to clean up the inside, I can use that rectangular polyline or a set of lines there. Let's offset by 1/4 inch, okay, towards the inside. And what I'll do is I'll use this so that we can have these reference lines trimmed equidistant from the object. So I'll use those as my cutting edges, and I'll just cut everything inside there. Then go back and remove those temporary cutting edges, and then do something similar on the outside. And oops, I made a mistake here, sorry about that. I trimmed away this part, but no problem. I can just make a copy of this one here, copy it from base point to there, and then now we could clean out the outer edges. So here what I can do is using a rectangle, and then since we've got our OSNAP and OSNAP tracking on, I'm going to hover over one of these circles to find the extension point between the two quadrants there, so I can create an intersection on this side and then do something similar on this side. And then I'll offset that by 1/4 inch as well and use that as the trimming edge for all these other construction lines. Now, a quick way I can do this is just use a bunch of these crossing selections to select all my construction lines there to trim, and then get rid of those previous rectangles. There we are. Now I won't need this center line here or this one here. And as I proceed with dimensioning, I want to double check and make a change to my annotation scale here. This is set for 1:2. I'll switch layers to the DIMS layer, and then I'll go ahead and start adding my dimensions. So starting from the inside here, I'll use a linear dimension, set this dimension here, and then the length, and then I'll set my typical dimension there. Now again, remember, if we use ED, enter, and select our dimension, we can add our typical. Click outside, and there we go. If we need to make a little bit more room, we can do that, just for clarity. And then we have the 0.75 over here between this reference edge and this. Oh, sorry, not there. We've got this reference edge and this one right here. So there's 0.75 there. And then we have our 0.75 here as well. All right. And then we have some radius dimensions, starting with this one here, which is a typical. Type ED, select the text, TYP there, and then we'll do the same thing with this other radius here. And set our TYP there. Okay, we've got one more over here for the fillet radii. And then all that's left now is our baseline dimensioning. Now I'll just take you over here to the dimension style one more time to take a look at your lines tab. And here's where you could see the baseline dimensioning value preset. I click OK there, come back to my Annotate tab, I'll start with a linear dimension first. We'll go from this edge here to here. Place that one. Now immediately if I go over here to our baseline dimensioning tool, you can see it's using the same starting reference line, and now you can see how they're all equally spaced. And escape to cancel. Let's do that again over here, starting first with a linear dimension, place it, and then we'll start with baseline from that same reference edge there to this one. And there again you can see how they're equally spaced. Alright, that's dimensioning, annotations. Now we're ready to go ahead and work on the presentation.